Howdy y'all, it's Marina, back at you again from this chill area in my house. I just filmed a video before this in this exact same area, so if you guys are wondering why I'm in a different area, you'll find out in Wednesday's video. So yeah, so before I get into my wrap up, I just want to update you guys on a few quick things. If you don't care about any of this, then I will leave a timestamp right here somewhere of where you can go to just begin the wrap up part. But if you guys do care about what's going on, I am doing a few updates to my channel. So schedule wise, my schedule every week will now be, I will be uploading on Monday and Wednesday. Those 2 days in the week will be for my core content, which is book reviews, book discussions, wrap ups, all that stuff. Notice I did not say TBRs because I am completely cutting out TBRs from my life, not just from Booktube, but in general. They just stress me out too much. I never complete them, and I feel like TBR videos, in my opinion, on my channel, not any of your guys' channels, because I enjoy watching your TBRs, but on my channel, it just gets, I like showing you guys books I can tell you about, not just that I have. And I don't really want to just talk about a book that I haven't read and just explain to you guys the synopsis, because I feel like I do enough of that in my book hauls. And you guys know my book hauls are really big every month. I do a monthly book haul. So I feel like I talk about books I haven't read enough on that video, and I don't want to get rid of that video. And since I'm tired of doing TBRs, I figured I would just throw out the TBRs. So Monday and Wednesday is for core content like discussions, reviews, wrap-ups, original content, stuff like that. And then on an occasional Friday, I will upload a tag video. I won't always upload on Fridays, but if I do upload on a Friday, it will be a tag video. Just something really simple, something I can throw together really quickly just to get it out there to you guys in case I feel like making a third video of the week. So scheduling content down. Also, I will be adding a featured booktuber to the end of every video. That's the end of every Monday video, every Wednesday video, and every Friday video. I had planned to do this a few weeks ago, and then me and Kate, my best friend, chapter Kate, not featured but still mentioned, we were talking about it, and we were like, you know, I was telling her how I really wanted to give back to the booktubers who are subscribed to me and the booktubes that I'm subscribed to, and we were talking about, you know, how we could do shout outs without just flooding you guys with shout out videos and stuff like that. And I told her I was planning on featuring a booktuber at the end of every video, and she had been planning the same thing as well. So I don't know when hers starts. I don't know if she's going to end up not doing it. I don't know, but I know as of this video, I will start mentioning booktubers. The featured booktuber, you'll find out who it is at the end of every video. If you choose not to watch that part, that's fine, but I really hope that you do, because I've got a lot of booktubers I need to get out into the universe. I need to show them off, because these people are the best people I can sit here and honestly say I have ever met. So supportive, so loving, so accepting. So in the discussion, there's going to be a featured booktuber at the end of every video. That being said, I am not completely cutting out booktuber shout out videos. I will still be doing those. I have a lot of booktubers I had to shout out, so I will still be doing those occasionally, just not a lot. So yeah. Did I get everything? I think that's it. Okay, wrap up time. For those of you who listened to my update, thank you so much. Like, I appreciate it so much. And if you were one who skipped and you're here now, hi. It's okay, I still love you too. But anyways, let's get into it. So for the month of August, I read 11 books. That's the most amount of books I've ever read in a wrap up ever. Like, not even before I started Booktube. That's a lot of books for me. Granted, a lot of that is because of Booktubeathon was at the beginning of August, so I obviously read a lot more in that first week than I would have normally. So anyways, 11 books, 2,998 pages. Now that is audiobook hours transferred into pages. So I read 6 books, 1 audiobook, 1 ebook, my first ever ebook thanks to Jules from Pages and Pens, 1 graphic novel, and 3 manga. I know that grinds some of y'all's gears. Genres is contemporary, young adult. I read middle grade. What? Marina read middle grade? Paranormal romance, sci-fi, horror, romance, and fantasy. I had 2 5 stars, 4 4 stars, 4 3 stars, 1 2 star, 0 1 stars, guys, that's awesome, 0 DNFs because it's me, yours truly, I don't DNF, and my average rating for the month was a 3.6. I had a pretty good reading month, guys. I am very proud of that. So this format is going to be a little different than normally. Normally I just vomit you guys out everything that I read. This time it's going to be a little structured. I need some structure in my life, so I'm starting with my channel. And I'm going to tell you guys what I liked least to most. So we're going to start with my least liked book of the month, and we're going to make it to my most liked book of the month. So to get it out of the way, I'm not going to talk about them, but I'm just going to real quick recap what I read for Booktuber-thon. If you want to know in more depth about any of this stuff, go check out my Booktuber-thon wrap up. The link for it will be in the description box. It'll also be linked at the end of this video. So if you want to know more in depth about those books, then go check out that video. I'm not going to repeat all that I said about it, but I'll just tell you guys what I read and the star rating that I gave it, and then we'll move along. So for Booktuber-thon, my least liked book was Alice in Murderland. I give this 2.5 stars. The next book I read was The Darkest Part of the Forest. I gave this 3 stars. The next book I read was The Perks of Being a Wallflower, and I read that via audiobook, and I gave it 3.5 stars. Then I read The Trouble with Half a Moon, and I give this 4 stars. And lastly, for Booktuber-thon, I read Orange, the second complete collection, and I gave this 5. I almost just gushed about how much I love Orange. Now to the books that you guys haven't heard about. Little House in the Big Woods by Laura Ingalls Wilder. I did not read this because I wanted to read this. I read this to my son for his first grade literature. So yeah, I gave it 3 stars. It was interesting. I did not care for some of the stuff said in this book. However, I do know that this was written way back in the day, and it was about even way back in the day. So I get it, but it wasn't enjoyable for me. It was enjoyable for my son because there's a point in the book where they take a pig's bladder and they blow it up and play with it like a balloon. And my kids were appalled by that. They were like, what in the world? Because my kids don't like anything like being killed, anything dead. They don't like the concept of hunting, nothing like that. We don't do any of that stuff. So even though we do live in Tennessee and y'all might think I would, I don't. Maybe if I had been a middle grader, it would have been enjoyable for me, but I gave it 3 stars because he thoroughly enjoyed it. Undercurrent by Trisha Rayburn. I wanted to like this so much. I wanted to like this because you guys know I loved Siren. This is the second book in the Siren series. So I should have known though, usually the second book in a trilogy is the most information packed of the books. And this one, it had a lot of information in it, less action, less romance, really. The romance felt off, judging from the romance from the first book. The characters fell off, judging from the characters in the first book. The plot fell off, judging from the plot in the first book. So up against the first book, it really was not good. And I was ultimately going to give it 2.5 stars. But I was like, you know what? It could tie together within the third book in the trilogy, so I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt and give it 3.5 stars. The next book I read is a graphic novel, and it is Paper Girl, and I give it 4 stars. I really liked this. Not only is the color scheme beautiful, it has a lot of hot pinks, purples, blues. If you like the Stranger Things, which is a TV show I'm sure you guys know of, you will like this book. It's about a group of paper girls, and you know, they're doing their daily paper route, and all of a sudden people start missing and weird stuff starts happening, and it leaves you with so many questions. Like, I thought Snot Girl left me with a lot of open questions. No, Paper Girls left me with a lot of open questions. I'm excited to get to the second volume because this volume, it knocked my socks off. It definitely deserves 4 stars. A lot of people have rated it lower on Goodreads because of the fact that it's so like confusing. I seriously think that it'll start making sense the further you get into the series. You can't expect to know everything about the series within the first book. Like, that would defeat the purpose of it being a series. The next book I read is Extraordinary Means by Robin Schneider. And I'm not going to go into depth about this because I do have a review video coming out on Wednesday. I will say that I give it 4 stars. I enjoyed it, but it did have its problems. In this, we have 2 main characters who find themselves in a sanatorium/retreat for those diagnosed with drug-resistant tuberculosis. Obviously, this is fiction. There's not a drug-resistant tuberculosis. Tuberculosis has been treatable since the early 1950s, but it's really interesting. It's an interesting concept. However, it does have its issues, and had it been read by somebody more unforgivable than I, they would have probably rated it lower, but it was fun, guys. It was fun to read. It was really fun to read. Then I read Orange Future, which is the 6th volume of Orange. You have Orange, the complete first collection, which has the first 3 books in it. Orange, the complete second collection, which has the 4th and 5th books in it. And then you have Orange Future, which kind of is the 6th book. However, Orange Future is completely unnecessary. This is from the perspective of a character that's involved in Orange 1 through 5. And it makes you look at the characters completely different. It sheds a new light on them, I guess you could say. And it's not the best of lots, and it's just, I would prefer not to read it. However, the artwork is so beautiful in it. It's still Orange. It's still written the same, so I really enjoyed that. So I couldn't bring myself to rate it any lower than a 4 stars, but it did not deserve the very big 5 stars that the first collection and the second collection got from me. I read Paperweight,
which is the Green Ribbon Book of the Month. The Green Ribbon Book. Then I read Paperweight, which is the Green Ribbon Book Club of the Month. Which is the Green Ribbon Book Club. Which is the Green
Ribbon Book Club Book of the Month. Oh my God, that was hard. If you don't know what the Green Ribbon, oh my God. If you don't know what the Green Ribbon Book Club If you don't know what the Green Ribbon Book Club is, it is a book club. I did it. Oh my God, I did it. It is the book club. It is a book club created by Kate over at Chapter Kate. I kind of help her moderate it a little bit. Is that the right word, moderate? But in this book, our main character deals with an eating disorder, so it has a ton of trigger warnings. I did not think this book was going to trigger me. It did. I can't remember the last time a book triggered me, but it did. And my husband was noticing some things I was doing, and he was like, "Why are you doing that?" And I was like, and he was like, "Does that book have anything to do with that?" And I was like, I didn't think about it, but honestly, it did. It triggered me. Before you guys even get this wrap up, we will have already done our live show on it. I'm recording this as of right now. It is Saturday, and our live show is on Sunday. So it's definitely going to be an interesting live show. If you guys didn't tune in, go back to watch it. It'll be on Chapter Kate's channel. But yeah, it's going to be interesting because I give it 5 stars. It was good, but man, did it trigger me. Given my history, I was hesitant to read it because I have a very large, very widely known history for eating disorders. So I was hesitant, but I have read so many books and not been triggered by them that I just assumed that I would get out of it okay, and I didn't. So please be aware of that. It has a trigger for suicide. It has a trigger for eating disorders, for self-harm. It has a ton of trigger warnings, so please look them up before you even attempt to read that, because I don't want somebody else going through what I did the last few days. So that's it for my wrap up. Now, featured booktuber. Our featured booktuber of this video is Tom from TJ Reads the Stars. Tom is one of the nicest, friendliest, most loving humans I have ever met in my life. He is beyond supportive. He is beautiful in every way. He kind of is just a rock in the small booktube community. Even though his channel is growing amazingly, he is just a rock, and I really look up to him as a booktuber. I look up to him as a person, and I just want him to know that I love him. And I can say for most of us in the small booktube community, we love you, Tom, and you deserve all the recognition. And yeah, guys, that's Tom. Go check him out at TJ Reads the Stars, and I will see you guys later.